Welcome inside the WB Mason Coaches Report. I'm Ryan Mayer, sitting here with Hofstra Pride volleyball coach Kristina Hernandez. Coach, bit of a rough weekend for your team. You head down to the Dr. Mary Jo Wynn Invitational undefeated at 7-0, just not able to pull out a win in any of those matches. What did you see overall from the weekend?
I think that I think we came out a little maybe underconfident, with what we were going to do, and it took us a while to kind of get to our groove of style of play. So I think that was a little disappointing. I think that we played well, and there were definitely some good signs there. Our outsides did really well against much bigger blocks and much better team, and we were passing really well. But I don't think we were able to get our middles or right side really into the offense. So that definitely took a part of our game that is really important to us.
Now let's start off with the Kansas State game. You actually end up taking a set from the Wildcats, the second set, and evening the matchup at 1, and then the next 2 sets fairly close. It just seemed like those last 5-6 point runs, you guys weren't able to finish those runs down the stretch. What did you see? Was it that underconfidence during that match that really wasn't allowing your team to get over the top against Kansas State?
I think towards the end, when the matches were getting close and we were getting around 20, instead of us being aggressive like we usually are, we were tipping a lot, which just gives Kansas State a free ball and allows them to run their middles, and they're a little bit stronger than ours. So it definitely just put us on the back end a lot, by giving them a free ball over so much. So I think we just needed to be a little more aggressive towards the end and really take big swings, which is something that we usually do, but they kind of backed off a little. So I think that really just kind of took it away from us a little bit, and they know that. I think they were a little disappointed with how we played, especially since that third set we won pretty easily. We were serving really aggressively, and we got up really fast, and I think it was 25-16, I believe. And we were playing the way we usually do and really confident. You could see them really kind of going at it, and I think we just went in and out of that this weekend. So again, I think they know that, and I think it's just a learning experience playing against bigger teams. They're definitely bigger and better teams that we're going to play during the year. So, I think it's good for us because we need to do that, and we kind of need to be in those situations that are going to challenge us to do that.
Now, how much did that Kansas State loss kind of hurt the morale of the team going into a match really only 5 hours later against South Dakota State, a pretty tough team in their own right?
I don't think it hurt their morale. I think they were just disappointed with how they played, because I think they knew they could have pulled it out. The first set was really close. I think it was like 25-20. And like I said, we just didn't really go at it aggressively. So South Dakota State, they're a very good team. They pass really well. So it was really hard for us to take their middles out of it, which were kind of the players that were killing us a little bit in that match. They pass really well, and so it made us a lot harder to constantly defend the middle. And on the flip side, we weren't passing well. So it made us hard to be able to do anything besides run our outside. So I just don't think we won the serve and passing battle in that match, and that is definitely the reason why it just kind of took us out of our flow.
Now, looking forward into the Saturday matchups, you had Missouri State, who you faced last year at the same tournament, and you also had Arkansas State. With Missouri State, what were you telling the team trying to get them to bounce back after that 0-2 start on the first day of the tournament?
I think I just wanted to see us play our style and kind of see what happens, and that's what we want to do. We just wanted to go out there and play how we play, and see how things kind of pan out. And they definitely played better in that set. It's just Missouri ended up towards the end they made some bigger, better plays than us, and I think we had some serving errors, it's really hard to do when you play better teams, to have so many serving errors, because they're not going to give you so many easy points, hitting the ball out and serving out. So. But we did well, and I think we maintained their outsides and their right sides, which is what we wanted to do. But, in the end, they just, they put the ball down when it counted, and I think that's what mattered. But, we stayed close the whole match, and it was going back and forth. So it was definitely, we played a lot better. So, I was happy to see that from them, especially from bouncing back from the first day.
And speaking of a match that went back and forth, Arkansas State later that day, you guys go to 5 sets with them. Were you happy with the ability to fight against a tough Arkansas State team later in the day after suffering a loss earlier on against Missouri State?
Definitely. I think that was nice, especially we came back from being down 2, and then they came back, and we served really aggressively. We were passing well. Kelsey and Nikki were really putting the ball down for us, which really helped us kind of get into the groove. And then in the 5th set, we just weren't aggressive with swinging. And again, this is a learning experience, and been telling them, against better teams that have really good middles and can put the ball down, We just can't give away free balls because it's just going to it's hard to defend middles constantly all the time. So we tipped a lot in the fifth set. We had a lot of attacking errors, and so I think that's something that they know. And so I think that was disappointing, because I think we could have won that if we would have done what we do well and really been consistent with what we were doing. But again, it's a learning experience, and we've got to learn how to do those things and not give away easy points and easy balls with better teams. So.
Now, Coach, one player that really seemed to shine on the weekend for your team was Kelsey Will. She, over the weekend, 47 kills, 43 digs, basically averaging a double-double over 4 matches. What did you see from her in terms of her confidence level going up against some tougher teams, as we've already talked about?
I think she just did a good job of hitting around the block, and I think this is both Nikki and Kelsey, they haven't been in front of such big blocks yet. It's a really consistent double big block. And they did a really good job of trying to work around the block and not really go through the block. They're hitting the angle and they were banging the line and they were going in fast, and they took a lot of swings for us and they scored a lot of points. But I think that, gradually through the weekend, their confidence built because they weren't, they were only getting blocked a couple of times and they were really scoring. And they definitely helped us stay in a lot of these matches, and Kelsey picked up her defense gradually throughout the weekend. They started kind of picking on her, and she really picked it up, and she made adjustments quickly, so I was happy to really see that from her. And like I said earlier in the year, I think we're going to keep seeing more from her, as she builds her confidence and really starts to get in there. But you could definitely see it a lot this weekend, especially when we played Arkansas State. She had, I think, 17 kills for us. And she probably could have had more. She just kind of goes in and out of what she can do. But, I think we're going to see more from her. And I think, she knows what she's capable of doing. I think it's just kind of toeing it in and making some smarter plays with a few different kind of balls that are kind of off. But I was really happy to see what she did this weekend.
Now, Coach, one of the things that you were speaking about throughout most of the matches this weekend is service errors. Now, how do you take that and try and spin it around during practice? What are you trying to do to make sure that your team is still serving aggressively but putting the ball in play and forcing the defense to make passes?
We serve a lot during practice. We start off practice with everybody serving, one ball in and kind of getting it in. And we play a lot of games where, we need to serve the last 3 points in order to win games. So we just put them in different scenarios where serving is kind of the focus, and in order for them to win a point or win that particular drill, they've got to finish it out with serving. And we're trying to really kind of learn and be really consistent with serving sidelines and seams to really kind of push people out of serve receive and make it a lot tougher for people to run middles and kind of do quick like that. So I think they're doing a good job with it, and we saw it in and out this weekend, and I think we were just very inconsistent with what we were doing from what we've been doing the past couple of weeks. But like I said, I think that's a big part of our game that we're good at. So it's just, getting back in there and doing the same things and getting it back to the level it needs to be at.
Now, looking forward to the schedule coming up, you have Seton Hall this week. You actually have to travel down to their place to play them, a team that you beat last season. What do you need to see from your team in order to have them get back to that 7-0 start the way they were playing at the beginning of the season before this last tournament?
Like I said, the things we do well, we've got to serve aggressively. They have good middles. They're going to run some slides on us. And, we saw a lot of slides this weekend, so it's good. We played a lot of good middles. So, defensively, we've just got to make sure we put up a good block and slow the ball down. And we've got to pass well. We've got to really get our middles and our right sides back in our offense. And I think we'll be able to do that tomorrow. But we've got to keep passing well. That's a really important part of our game and why we're able to be fast and kind of feed our outsides a lot. So, that's really the focus. And when we get to practice today, it's kind of going to focus on that and make sure that we're able to do that tomorrow in order to be successful.
And your final tournament of the weekend or of the season, coming up this weekend, the Aggie Invitational out in California. You face some tough teams out there, UC Davis, Seattle, and Air Force. What do you want to see from your team in this tournament as you get ready for conference play coming up very soon?
I think, us being on the road, I just want to see us doing what we do well, but being consistent at it. I think we were in and out this past weekend. So when we travel, when we get to Davis, I just want to see us playing how we play and really be able to compete and not take ourselves out of it so much and just really be able to battle point for point and make some good plays. You know, Davis is a very good team, and I'm looking forward to playing them. They've got some, you know, some really good outsides, and I think we do well against, you know, some outsides. We played some tough outsides this weekend, and it's something that we were able to manage a little bit better. So, you know, I'm excited about what we have coming up this weekend. I think it's just about us, you know, doing what we do well and make sure that we do that and make that the priority.
All right, well, Coach Kristina Hernandez, thank you for joining me inside the WB
Thank you.
Mason Coaches Report.